Hey guys, this is Rosita, your go-to vocal and language coach here on TakeLessons.com. Welcome to another episode of If You Can Speak, You Can Sing. Today we're going to talk about preventing vocal injuries, how to create awareness, what types of vocal injuries there are, and some tips of how you can soothe it. So I'm going to start off by talking about one of my clients. She is a young, successful artist right now. Right now she's currently on tour. I'm super proud of her. So a long time ago, she had her classes, with me for about several months, and then she went on tour before this tour that she's on now. And she lost the top half of her range. Also in that year, she engaged in behaviors that I warned her about, that it was going to affect her voice. But she started smoking. She started drinking excessively, drinking a lot of caffeine and not keeping hydrated, like drinking lots of water. And then instead of, seeking advice or calling me, because even if my clients are on tour or they're on business trips or whatnot, doesn't mean that they're not able to contact me. They can email me or text me at any time off, when we're not having classes, if they have vocal issues. She tried to hit those high notes by using force, and that is a huge no-no. And she's watching this video. Granted, I have permission to talk about her story. I'm not nagging you. It's just a lot of people do this. I'm just using your story. When she came back from tour, we had to start from scratch. We had to get rid of those bad habits which caused misuse of the voice. And of course she got better, and now with the experience, she's doing a lot better, and she's doing amazing on tour. Actually, I have one of her I posted it on YouTube. You can check her out. I think I posted her out like a couple of days ago. I think I uploaded one of her live concerts a few days ago. Another client I wanted to share, she is, because she's still a student with me, a second grade teacher. You know how second graders can be, that age range. Whoo! It's more like not talking but yelling most of the time. As in first graders, I remember I taught a choir of 36 first and second graders at an elementary school. That was fun. But at the same time, I'm glad I knew about vocal technique. So my client is a second grade teacher. She's been the past several years. She's a new student with me, and she noticed that whenever she talked, there was some form of discomfort in her throat. Unfortunately, she developed nodules. She was hoarse. Her voice was hoarse by towards the end of the week, and she couldn't talk at all after school when she was done with her classes. So she sought my help, and so after vocal therapy and vocal training, her voice improved by changing her habits so she could save her voice. Because if you have nodules and continue to misuse your voice, not a great recommendation. And this is not to scare you guys, but to create an awareness of how we can misuse our voice without even knowing it. And I want to help you. I generally do want to help you to prevent from any vocal injury. Now, what is a vocal injury? What does it consist of? Well, a vocal injury can be defined as a wound to the vocal folds. And vocal injuries usually cause symptoms such as hoarseness, breathiness, loss of a singing range, breaks in the voice, lack of stamina required to maintain the sound or for extended voicing, and the feeling of strain, fatigue, and so much more symptoms, but those are the most common ones. And some vocal injuries are caused by how the voice is used, and others are caused by genetic and physical factors and emotional components as well. Yes, stress, high stress can affect your voice. Okay, so there are 4 common related injuries to the vocal cords. We have number 1, nodules. Now, if you don't know what nodules are, think of calluses on your foot, but except on your foot, on your cords. Great image, right? You're welcome. Then we have polyps. Polyps are similar to blisters, and think of blisters also on your vocal cords. I'm giving great imagery here. Then we have edema, which is basically a fluid retention in the vocal cords. Usually it does cause swelling. Actually, it does cause swelling. Then we have hemorrhage, which is bleeding in the vocal cords due to like a burst of a blood vessel, and it's basically kind of like bruising in your vocal cords. Again, I swear this is not to scare you, but these are the 4 main types of vocal injuries, or common injuries that a lot of us find. Now, developing a little bit of swelling, on the other hand, on the cords from improper voice use is like getting a blister on your foot from wearing a tight shoe. So in order for the blister to heal, we gotta, 1, stop wearing that shoe and take care of our foot, right? Same concept with the cords. Seek out a vocal therapist and seek out a vocal trainer. We have to rest also our voice when your voice swells. If you need to talk, try to reschedule or seek out a vocal trainer. But keeping quiet is the best case scenario. And I've seen this so many times, because when people experience, swelling in their voices or voice fatigue or any of the symptoms that I mentioned prior, they tend to force their voice to speak, and they're only making their own situation far worse. And you're not giving your voice a chance. You're not giving your cords a chance to heal. Think of that blister. If you continue wearing that tight shoe, what's going to come from that blister? Now imagine that to your voice. As you can see, I'm very passionate about this. I'm extremely strict when it comes to vocal health, hence why I have like 3 videos on vocal health here on YouTube and on Take Lessons. Now, there are 3 main factors to play into how much impact of stress is generated in the vocal cords when you use your voice. 1, how you use your voice. There are 3 vocal use patterns that appear to increase the impact of force between your vocal folds, which are elevated vocal volume caused by increased air pressure. Then you have elevated vocal pitch created by vocal fold elongation. Then you have vocal fold pressing, which is caused by the rhythmoids closed by the vocal folds extremely hard, aka slamming your cords together. Now, therefore, if you commonly produce a loud, high-strained voice, you are likely generating large impact of stress on your cords. Now, this is why screaming is often associated with nodules, and probably why it's more common for a soprano to develop nodules than a bass, because there's a huge misconception that in order to sing high notes, you have to add force to reach those high notes. And no, it's actually the opposite, to be quite honest with you. And a lot of people use their throat to sing, which is even worse. So, yeah. But, okay, so 2, dehydration. People don't keep hydrated enough, especially during summer. Now, with a gelatinous tissue in your vocal folds become dry and irritated, the vibration in this area is more likely to produce or to promote friction. And increased friction leads to increased heat, which may cause vocal injury. That's why it's so important to keep hydrated water, eat hydrating fruits and vegetables. Try to avoid drinking too much. Try to avoid drinking too much caffeine. And I understand that we need our coffee, but try to avoid drinking like 4 cups of coffee. And then lastly, genetics. Now, each one of us has a different level of tolerance before the vocal folds goes kaput or swells. Now, this may be genetically predetermined, but sometimes if you have a voice that's less sturdy, the more likely they are to break down. But the good news is that you can learn how to use your voice in such a way that the vocal folds don't have to bang together. But rather close completely and gently. That way they don't have to generate excessive impact stresses. You can learn better habits to protect your voice, to improve and enhance your voice. Now, I did want to get one misconception out of the way about cough drops. Cough drops do not hydrate you. In fact, they do the opposite. They dehydrate you. It dries your throat out. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Cough drops do not, or mentholated cough drops do not moisten your throat. What a lot of people is not aware about, there's different types of acid reflux. A lot of people are not aware of vocal techniques, of proper vocal techniques. They end up with like chronic sore throat, end up losing a lot of their voice. If your current habits are negatively affecting your voice, I encourage you guys to seek out a vocal trainer. I'm not promoting myself for anything. I actually really do genuinely am suggesting you to seek out a vocal trainer, whether it's me or someone else that is educated. I cannot also say that enough. You want to find an educated vocal trainer, not just say, oh, I've been singing, I've been on tour, that makes me a vocal trainer. There's a whole other level type of thing. I want you to be able to speak freely. I want you guys, whether it's speaking for presentations or singing on tours, we only get one set of vocal cords. That's it. We can't go to Guitar Center and buy a new set. I do genuinely worry about how people use their voice. I do tend to freak out just a little bit, and again, because I care. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I am going to do a video of answering the top questions when it comes to vocal injury. I will be talking about laryngitis, how to manage that. Also, I'll be talking about how people lose their voices or how their voice gets fatigued while talking on the phone, how exercise can affect your voice. And also, if you haven't done so, please check out my vocal health video. I have actually several, to be honest. I'll post them in the description window below. One of like gargles and also teas that you can make, basically customize of what you are dealing with at the time, and also why vocal health is important. So if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. There's gonna be more videos like this, vocal training videos. There's a reason why I say if you can speak, you can sing, because once you get this vocal technique down, not just for your speaking voice, but it also does enhance your singing voice. So it's a win-win situation. And also I've been doing a lot of, vlogging, and I also do teach languages. I do teach Japanese and Spanish. So check out my series, Beginning Japanese for Business Professionals and Beginning Japanese Sentence Structures. Also, Beginning Spanish for Medical Professionals and Beginning Spanish Sentence Structures. and pronunciation. I also have a beginning Spanish pronunciation series as well. If you guys are interested in taking lessons with me, please check out my profile at takelessons.com. I'll also leave the link in the description window below. Here you can check out my background, my availability, prices, and such. Alright, until next time, guys, take care.